Good morning, ladies and gents. This is going to be a 3-day vlog. The reason is because we got about 7 duplexes to do solo after school, which means I can't start them until about 12 or 11 o'clock. So that means that I only got about 5 or 6 hours to work on them each day. So it should be about a 15-hour job in total by myself. 7 duplexes, the driveways, curbs, and then the house wash on them. So, and then this back wall that they have, so it shouldn't be too bad. But this morning I am loading up the truck and trailer, and I'm about to go to school, and then we're gonna go check out the first day on these duplexes. I'm gonna catch you guys when I get to the job, just because I don't want to make this video extremely long, but I'm gonna show you guys kind of the process of me doing 7 duplexes by myself over the course of the 3 days. Boom, baby, we are out of school. We are heading to the duplexes right now, and we're gonna go ahead and see what they're all about. I'm gonna walk around, get some videos, show you guys what we're gonna be working on, and other than that, we're gonna get this thing knocked out. But it should take me like, I gave them 3 days, Monday through Wednesday, but I'm thinking it's gonna take me like a day or 2, to be honest. Probably 2, probably like today and then like tomorrow, like walking around, touching everything up, making sure it's all right. And then Wednesday, maybe go back and double check everything, but honestly probably not. Probably just go and tell them, it took me less time, which they will appreciate, and as long as the work is good, they'll be great with it. So I'm gonna catch you guys when I get there. Alrighty, just got here finally. See the truck set up, trailer set up right here. I'm gonna show you guys what we are working with on this project, as well as this video can be my pre-inspection kind of thing. Alrighty, so we got curbs, we got driveways, we got the house wash on them, driveway over here, got a little curb over there. We got all 4 sides of these things to do. Sidewalk's all moldy and mildewy. As you can see, the siding's got like spider webs on it. Windows are a little mucky. You can see more spider webs. See, the gutters are kind of dirty. See these. We got these little back pads back here. Pretty simple. Got the house wash of this back here. Very square, easy buildings. Should be a breeze. We're not doing those 2 today. Those 2 are gonna be for tomorrow. Alrighty, so I just drug out all this hose, 350 foot of pressure hose right here. The first thing we're gonna do is wash the buildings, because if we don't wash the buildings first, it's just gonna go back on the driveway, and we're gonna have to rinse the driveway like 3 times. Next will probably be the driveways, then the curbs on this side. Our goal is to get these 2 buildings right here done. Nothing else, because what's gonna happen is they can't have all the tenants move all their cars everywhere, because it wouldn't make sense like that. So there's 7 buildings in total. I'm gonna be doing 2 a day. I guess the last day I'll have 3, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. The second day I'll probably do the wall, most of the wall that we have back there. But 7 buildings, pretty easy house wash, and then these little driveways and sidewalks. And then the curbage, but shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on these driveways. I'll show you guys one side done and one side not done. That way you guys can see the difference that we're making here. One tip on quoting these things is looking around, and even if the property manager or whoever it is says that everything will be moved, that's what they told us. And look, chairs, mats, always quote to where if things won't be moved, that should be your price, because worst come to worst, you're gonna do it for free, and that's not what you can do as a business. You don't want to quote the job for 3 days and 3 days of money, and then you come out here and it adds a whole nother day of just tediously moving things and moving them back. So we took that into consideration in the bid for this property. All right, one of the next biggest things that I'd say on quoting and doing these jobs is gonna be, where am I hooking up water? Like, where am I getting the supply of water from to my tank to fuel my machines, essentially? So luckily we keep a fire hydrant adapter. That way if we're gonna grab a meter, we have to use it. This is actually a private hydrant. So the people that own these duplexes, They put in a private hydrant, which is actually difficult to do, so thank gosh that they did that. Saves me money. Well, it really saves them money as well, because now I don't have to bill them for a hydrant hookup and bill. So we're gonna be hooking up to this hydrant for these property managers, and that's how we're gonna supply our water the whole time. I will say, you guys, you're gonna need a very special wrench and an adapter. I will show you guys here in a second when I get over there. So here's how we hook up to the fire hydrant. One, you're gonna need this wrench right here for fire hydrants. Two, you're gonna need that adapter that I have sitting right there. This goes to a water hose. Typically what you'll need is a meter from your local utility district. In our case, it's a private hydrant, so it gets billed to them. They put it in here and they know we're hooking up to it, so we're all good without a meter. This top part is how you turn the water on and off. Now we're gonna hook up to the hydrant and find a good PSI for the hose. Alrighty, well, you guys can probably tell that I'm back in the truck, and the reason is their hydrant was turned off. So while I was waiting on a response on what to do, I went and got some lunch. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hook up to a resident, and then they're gonna cover the bill for that resident. Should only be about $20, $30 when it's all said and done. So not too bad, but I'm gonna drive back there and we're gonna get this thing knocked out. All right, as you guys can see, we've done this side of the driveway. We've done a little bit. You can see all that black mold up there we're gonna take care of. Here's the dirty side of the driveway. It's a huge difference all the way through. This place is starting to look great just with a little bit of work. All right, we almost have one completely done. Whipped out the water-fed pole to scrub a little parts of the gutters. That's a good tip. If you guys have a water-fed pole, whip it out, keep it by you. It's so much quicker, especially if you're by yourself. Instead of doing a whole side again or doing a whole gutter line again with a downstream mix, I just have that brush it, and then rinse it real quick. The last thing we have on this one right here is these back patios I have opened up. And then we already have one side done on this one because we washed this alleyway. So then we just got 3 sides, the driveway, and then those 2 back patios. It's about 4 o'clock right now. Hoping to be out of here by about 5:30. I will get some clips of me doing some more washing, because I know I've been washing this whole time, trying to catch up with that whole water situation, but this thing's getting done. Look how fresh them gutters looking now. Holy. This whole building is completely complete. We're on that one right now. I'm doing this curbage real quick with my turbo nozzle. All the way around here in that little wall. Tiny bit of curbage there, tiny bit of curbage there. Then I'm gonna pull the car up to do that side on this one, and then the back patio. Alrighty, all packed up. That is day 1 done. 2 of these buildings completely done. Driveways, sidewalks, back patios, curbs, house wash, everything. Tomorrow, we got these 2 right behind me. And then the day after that, we got 3 and then a wall to do. So stay tuned for that. I will catch you guys here tomorrow. Not gonna bore you guys with the boring stuff. Alrighty, baby. Day 2, 2 more buildings, 2 more driveways, some more curbs. We're gonna start the wall back there. Brought the tripod today, so hopefully we can get some good clips. You guys can see how dirty these back patios are for sure. I don't know about the buildings. You see a lot of green right there, but yep, I'm gonna get this thing started. Tripod today, so we'll get some good clips. One thing I also like about these multi-day projects, I don't know if you guys can see right there, there's a lot of dirt dripping. It's dripping all the way down from that window. That's something we would have caught if we were coming back multiple days. That was not there yesterday. It occurred after everything started to dry and rinse, so that is definitely a pro of it being a multi-day project. We can make sure that callbacks are very minimal. Alrighty, so we got the pump sprayer filled up with 50/50 bleach and water. As you can see, it literally changing the color of this right here. Look how bright that is. It stops right there. Stuff is super powerful. Soft washing with a pump sprayer is really smart. So I know you guys are probably wondering why I'm using a pump sprayer here and not using my 12-volt soft wash system. Typically because all I was doing was this section of the wall today. So it was going to take a lot longer to pull out the 12-volt than it was just treat this. As well as I only have 200 foot of soft wash hose, and where we have to park, it's far away. All right, onto this front area right here. Pre-treated the driveway with Downstream Mix. Look at this big no-no right here. Most of these have had outdoor outlets, but this one right here, we're gonna tape that John up. We do not want to get bleach in this and then someone come home and plug in a hair dryer out here or something, or microwave or whatever they plug in out here that's electrical. That is not gonna be good for us. It'll blow the fuse in there and we'll be liable. So here I am washing one of the sides. We're doing a downstream mix on this whole thing. The first two buildings did need a little scrubbing on the gutters, but that saves a lot more time than it does to just switch to a 12-volt mix or whatever it may be. I like doing the downstream, especially on house washes, especially with vinyl or hardy board. Comes up really crisp as long as you give it a good dwell time. By now, I've already done two of these buildings, so I kind of already got the gist of it. It's about the same thing over and over. The siding isn't too bad. You want to coat it real good, but the gutters you want to coat about twice, I figured now. So each side only takes me about 10-15 minutes with rinsing and everything max. I like to coat 2 or 3 sides and then come back and rinse. That is the thing I've found the best. Driveways, about the same situation. What I like to do, and what I have been doing on these driveways, is just laying a simple downstream mix with a surfactant. This just helps lift it up a little bit, saves me a tiny bit of time on the surface cleaner, which really helps out in the long run, especially with the curbs and stuff. That way you don't have to spend a bunch of time. Using the surface cleaner, you can go a bit faster with it once it's treated, and downstream mix only takes about 30 seconds to a minute, maybe, to coat the whole 2-person, 2-car driveway. But here I'm just surface cleaning the whole thing. I start with the walkways, and then we come and wash the front of the house after. The reason we do that is because there's going to be a lot of splash where I'm at right now. A lot of splash getting up on the doors and the trim around the house, and then as well as the garage doors. One important thing I don't see a lot of people do is you see all this soap coming onto the asphalt or the blacktop right in front of the driveway. We're going to make sure that we end up rinsing all that down to the nearest drain, because if we don't, then when they drive it back on the driveway, it's just going to be dirty again. And the HOA is really going to appreciate that, especially when they do their walkthrough, because they don't want to see a bunch of soap and crud and bleach and dirt and sand and all kinds of stuff sitting in the front of the driveway where you just washed it. It really boosts the curb appeal, especially since we're going to be doing those curbs anyways. We like to go ahead and rinse down the whole asphalt, blacktop. Gives the place a fresh finish, and it really helps out with that pre-inspection walkthrough. I will let you guys watch the rest of the surface cleaning. Check out the difference in this wall. That's all clean, that's all dirty. Look, all the way down. Look at that. Boom. It's incredible. A little pump-up sprayer, half and half bleach. Come back with a turbo nozzle. It's pretty quick, pretty efficient. Looks great. Hope they're gonna be super happy with it. Gotta be super careful. I got my rain boots on, so all this water splashing up in my face a little bit, and it's splashing up onto my pants, even with the rain boots on. So you guys want to make sure you guys got some rain boots or something to, or I guess waterproof pants. I've seen those too. Make sure you guys aren't getting soaked, because you're gonna suck being out here all day if you get soaked. Washing these back patios are pretty fun. The worst thing about it being solo, I would say, is just moving the furniture back and forth. Typically, if you had someone to move the furniture, you could start washing, and then by the time you finish one patio, they could be moving the furniture back. Man, moving this furniture is definitely something you guys want to include in your quote. These people got mats, flowers, welcome mats. Somebody back there had a huge furniture set in the back, glass tables and all kinds of heavy stuff. So we always make sure that we look around and kind of see what people have out while we're quoting, especially if it's going to be within, 3 weeks that we're doing the job, or 2 weeks. We kind of have an idea of what they keep out on their porch. So sometimes I'll take pictures of that or just jot it down, keep it in mind to add to the price. Like, if they're not going to be able to have every single person move their stuff, which is very unlikely, especially in, multi-home families and a lot of families, to move all their stuff within a week or two, then, we have to charge to prepare to move all that stuff ourselves. Alrighty, we are getting close to finish with this last building. Got to wash this front up here. Driveways are done. Both those driveways are completely done. Curbs are done. Started a lot on that wall back there. Still super black, but we're gonna get that thing knocked out. Other than that, I'm gonna get back to washing this thing. Alrighty, that is day 2 complete. I'm literally about to put these chairs back and roll up the trailer right here. Roll up the hoses on the trailer, and then we're done with day 2. 2 more buildings done. Some of that wall done today. All the driveways and curbs up there. Rinsed down all the way to the drain. But here's a quick tip for you guys. If you're having some dirt dauber nest, you can take some mud away, or clay remover, or red clay remover, or kind of any rust remover. And then I took my water fed pole, extended it all the way up there, and I scrubbed it with that red clay removal, then rinsed it off. Those dirt daubers look like they were never even there. It really helps, because a lot of times those dirt daubers are making their nest out of red clay, which stains white vinyl and white hardy board really, really bad. So sometimes you gotta scrub it a little bit with that red clay remover, and it does great. But that'll be the end of today. I will catch you guys here tomorrow for day 3 to get this whole project knocked out. Holy, my parking might be elite. Look, I backed in from there, that tight spot right there. I got all the way up against this curb, against the back of it too. I might be a parking master at this trailer, man. Man, I don't know how I did it. It's 5:11 and all I got is the back side of these 3. I had a lot more distractions today. Ran out of gas, had to go get that. We got chemical earlier. We had somebody taking pictures of one of the units, so we had a hose drug all the way over there, so we had to move. We had to relocate the trailer. We had to do a lot of things. A lot of people didn't have their cars moved, so we had to talk to a couple people. So a lot of distractions today, but I am absolutely blessed. We are on the back side of the last 3, and then obviously we're gonna come back tomorrow and do this wall and probably some more of the curbs and stuff. Make sure everything looks good, touch it up. It'll be a little touch-up day, except for the wall. The wall will be hard, but all I got is moving a little bit of furniture back here, or in the front. And then all I got after that is to wash the back and then move the furniture back there. And then we are rock and rolling. And boom, that is day 3 done. As you can see, the wall is still nasty. Only got about 20 or 30 feet of that completely done, and then about another 20 or 30 treated with the chemical. But every single building, driveway, sidewalk, windows, back patios on all the residences are completely done. All seven buildings. But we do still have this wall to do tomorrow, and a little bit of curbage in the front. Not much at all, just kind of touching stuff up, maybe even just spraying it with some chemical and letting it sit. But other than that, every single residence is done. Call the property manager, let him know I need one more day, which shouldn't be a problem. He said it wouldn't be a problem at all pretty much this week, except for that one showing on that one unit. But I will catch you guys back here tomorrow to wrap the thing up. The only thing I didn't really record today was me getting chemical, but it's kind of the same thing over and over, so it's a little bit boring. And man, holding the camera for this long, trying to get the job done at the same time, it adds a lot of time, but it's worth it to show you guys kind of how I solo one of these duplexes. Really happy all the buildings and driveways are done. Very tedious, but the wall is gonna be super tedious because it gets up to like 10, 20 foot right there. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited to knock this thing out. Boom, baby. We got day 4. All we got left is this wall and maybe a little bit of curbage in the front. I'm gonna double check it, but as you can see, I've treated some of that over there where it's real white. This hasn't been treated at all yet. But other than that, man, I got the trailer parked right here today because we're gonna be aligned with the hoses going all the way down, and this is the house we hook up to. But we're gonna get this thing knocked out. I got a quote to go to, so I'm gonna kind of show you guys that to add into this video as well. It's with a trade bank partner we do here, so it is part of our vacation savings, basically, is what we're gonna do with that. But yeah, we're gonna get this wall done today, and then we'll be all done, baby, with this project. We're gonna get finally paid, probably here in a couple weeks, but excited to get this one done. We got a window job tomorrow too, so let's get this thing knocked out. Alrighty, so I'm treating this whole thing with about a 3 or 4% mix just to loosen up some of that dirt and grime. These areas need turbo nozzled. When we get to the taller areas, they don't. So that's why I'm treating this with a lower mix, just to not waste bleach if we have to come back and turbo nozzle it anyways. This just helps loosen it up a bunch though. All right, the way I'm doing this wall is I pre-treated it with about 3 to 4% down the whole thing, so it's already looking a lot wider. Yesterday, when I tried to do the wall a little bit, I was trying to turbo nozzle just to like kind of feel out the difference if I should soft wash it or if I should just go ahead and pressure wash it. And the soft wash, just like, I'm about to come through the fan tip basically and clean everything up. So, and there's like no grass that they care about. This whole line has like moss and stuff, so they don't give a crap about this grass or moss or anything. So this wall should take no longer than like 2 hours. I do have to go to a quote, so that's gonna slow me down a bit. And the biggest thing is moving this truck over to right over here, because as you can see, the wall goes around the curb, so I'm not gonna be able to get all the way over there without, you know, moving the truck a little bit, maneuvering it, making sure that we can reach everything. But this should be pretty quick, to be honest. So sadly, we had a bunch of tree guys here, and it has been extremely in my way. They're where I was gonna go park, and they're also, you can see them right over there, and they're also like putting trees down right on the wall and stuff. So hopefully they will move out soon and I can continue to finish. But I've done a lot of this thing. It's just these guys in my way a little bit are definitely slowing me down. So I'm going to move the truck over to the middle. I can't move it all the way over yet, so I won't be able to reach everything, but I'm going to keep getting done when I can get done. Alrighty, a little story time here. We finally got this whole wall treated. It's looking a lot better. So I had to come back 2 mornings after. This is actually Saturday morning now. I know we were supposed to finish Thursday. What happened was we had some tree guys here. They cleaned up all this brush, and they just sat the trees all the way in a line down the whole wall. So I had no room, 1, and 2, they were working for 3 hours of me being here. I was kind of just twiddling my thumbs. So I finally was like, all right, I gotta go. I can't just sit here and wait on these guys. So came back Saturday morning to wrap this thing up. And they swung by, actually, and checked out all the buildings, said everything was looking great. Obviously told them all I had was this wall left. But yeah, I'm going to let all this chemical sit for probably about another 2 or 3 minutes. And then I'm going to come through and rinse this whole thing. And then I think I'm going to be done and out of here finally. I got to go touch up some windows. So I might bring you guys with me to do that. I did that job yesterday. I didn't really get any videos of it because it was an interior. And I don't like recording inside people's houses too much. But yeah, this project was a beast, and really happy it's getting close to an end. I will show you guys me rinsing down this wall and how it's coming up and stuff, and then I'll probably do an outro when we get back. Man, was that a good project. I'm so happy I wrapped it up in 3 days by myself. But other than that, if you guys like and subscribe, you guys can watch a lot more content like this. I am in the early stages of my business, and I'm so happy I'm documenting it and showing a little bit of the guys that are under me even, kind of what it looks like here in the next year of you running the business, what you can accomplish and what you can do by yourself as well. Can't wait to have our first employee working this year. I'm going to get so much more content on him, but I appreciate you guys for watching, and here's another video.